15.37, or no, it looks to be an 80 actually, so he'll look to improve his time this time around here, as he was once again very loose. Coming at a turn 2 right there, so we'll see how he does. Coming around the final corner, will he beat Ireland's time? Looks like he will not. So that was a worse time than it was on the first one, so Miller will end up with a 15.380. Jared Ireland will remain at the front. And so next up, we have the number 73 RCA car, also sponsoring, I believe it's video something there on the side of the car. I can't read it perfectly. Cudmore Design is also on there as well, but this is the number 73, Daniel Cudmore. And if you're wondering why it says Dan Cudmore, it's a ticker situation, knowing that we have 2 D Cudmores in the field. So if you were ever confused about that, then there's your explanation. So far, look at the broadcast here so far. Denver, we have almost 100 people watching this thing.
And we're just getting started, Regan. That's an awesome turnout. This is a big event, and the fans are turning out to watch as we continue to see Cudmore come around turn 3 and 4. Very loose sideways. He's going to loop it.
He loops the car around. Not ideal. It's the number 94, DJ Casey, on pole for Heat 2, the former NASCAR Pinty Series and East Coast International Pro Stock Tour driver. And then you have Maritime League of Legends Tour driver Tanton Aldridge there on the first row. Apologies if people just heard that right there. But moving on here, row 2, it's a pair of Canadian Motorsports Network competitors recently in the 2023 NASCAR Series. Veteran Darcy Ford, who's been here since the very beginning, and then there's the guy that was a rookie this past season for the NASCAR Series, the number 13 of Jared Ireland, who claimed 3 victories over the season and plenty of stage wins as well. And then you have a driver and race director. It's Kenny McKenzie Jr. in the 85 with Chris Bingley to his outside in the number 84. And then to wrap it all off towards the back, of course, we have the number 97 of the 2022 NASCAR Series champion Ty Higginbottom. And then rounding out the order here with the number 73 of, again, Network founder Daniel Cudmore.
So, Regan, we saw the first heat race go very clean, start to finish, kind of sorted itself out in the early laps. I wonder if we're going to see a different style heat race here. We had a very different dynamic with the drivers in this field for this 15-lap heat race. I wonder if we're going to see more of the same, or if this one might get a little bit interesting as drivers look to improve their starting position for tonight's main event.
Indeed, so we're going to have the pace car go around just one more time. One more pace lap here for this field. And there's the call right there, obviously, 1 to green. Until we get underway here for this second of 3 heats, the middle one, to settle the starting lineup for the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250 here on iRacing is the iRacing official pace car or safety vehicle, whatever you want to call it. We'll take it to pit road. Flagman with the green flag in his hand. He's going to wave it. Here we go for Heat 2. Tanton Wooldridge and DJ Casey will be side by side as wow. They got a little bit close there in between turns 1 and 2. Could we see a different dynamic here versus Heat 1 where we have a side-by-side battle for the Heat victory? But it looks like that might have aged completely wrong as DJ Casey is going to clear the way and take the lead over the number 28 Trevor Lamb Racing late model stock, but Wooldridge is going to remain close on his rear bumper. Everyone else throughout the field looks to remain in their same position that they, again, qualified in from time trials. 28 keeping it close. He actually got loose off of turn 2 right there. But so far, clean sailing for the 94. The 28 will try to keep it close. And it's pretty much just kind of the same dynamic as Heat 1. It's just cars getting single file and just, trying to get to the end so we can just get to the big feature.
The 28, Regan Tanton Woolridge, we saw in the qualifying, his first lap was an absolutely horrendous lap, and he picked it up on lap number 2, so he definitely has some speed. I don't think his qualifying effort went quite the way that he wanted to go as he continues to absolutely pour the pressure on DJ Casey in the number 94. Of note, Chris Bingley has dropped back to position number 7. We saw maybe starting mid-pack, Regan, on the outside. Maybe not the best plan for these drivers. We saw a very similar situation in heat race number 1 where Troy Burke fell to the back early in the going on the outside, and looks like Chris Bingley, very similar results here. He's fallen back to 7th, back to 8th now, I believe, according to the ticker, but he is going to work on getting it back up to the front. Meanwhile, Regan, the battle continues up front. DJ's got the lead, but Tanton is all over him, trying to find a way around him.
Indeed. So yeah, Bingley falling all the way back to last there. As we're going to come to 7 laps to go in Heat 2. You could call it basically halfway right there, as the 28 tries to remain close behind the 94. But so far, not able to really find anything, as he remains almost 3/10 behind. And again, that number 94 Dodge. No sponsors, but trying to be flashy with some colors there. Blue, black, yellow, red, orange, whatever it is, all the above. Yeah, orange it would be. Again, I am partially colorblind, so sometimes I suck with identifying colors. I believe it'll be, 5 laps to go now in Heat 2. Will the number 28 have anything for the number 94? Again, this is a driver that has a NASCAR Pinty Series start versus a guy who has just been getting started in recent years here in the Maritimes. But again, too, his young life has been flashing by pretty quick. Again, was a winner of the Breakout Performer of the Year award from Tim's Corner Motorsports a while back. As wow, he had a bit of a loose moment there through turns 3 and 4, but he's still remaining pretty close here, 3/10 behind. It's as if, nothing really happened right there with him. But we're going to be coming to 2 laps to go here in Heat 2, and it looks as though, unless something catastrophic happens, the 94 is probably on his way to joining Ryan Messer as an Oyster Bed Speedway heat race winner.
Tanton Woolridge is going to give it one final effort here in the final lap or two, Regan, but it's looking like it's going to be too little too late. We got Pat Healy, the Laker News, in the chat here saying, keep it up, Tanton, learn what you can and use it in the feature. And I'm sure he will do that, as DJ Casey is going to open up a couple more car lengths gap into turn 3 for the final time.
And coming to the checker flag, there it is, the number 94 DJ Casey will get the job done in Heat 2. It looks like Ty Higginbottom scraped the outside wall there coming off of turn 4, but Tanton Woolridge and Darcy Ford will round out the podium for Heat number 2. Kenny McKenzie Jr. 4th, Jared Ireland 5th, Ty Higginbottom 6th, Daniel Cudmore in 7th. Start your engines! And there you heard it right there. The engines got fired up here for the Oyster Bed Speedway 250. I don't know for exact sure if that was completely smooth, but again, a lot of multitasking to do right there. Finally, we're going to get underway with this special event right here. Make sure of one more thing. There we go. So now it is time to settle here the starting grid for the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250. Starting on the front row, we have a super late model series driver, very successful Speedway 660 as well. It's the number 1 of Ryan Messer. Alongside him, the number 94, former NASCAR Pinty Series driver and East Coast International Pro Stock Tour driver, DJ Casey. Moving on to row 3, we have the 00 of Caden Tufts, and alongside him, the number 38 of Travis Roma. And Denver, do you want to, why not, take on the next 2 rows for us?
All right, row number 3, driver with the number 28, Trevor Lamb Racing Machine. Regan, I just saw he is driving with his pedals backwards tonight. How about that for a storyline? We'll get into that later. It's Tanton Woolridge to his outside, and the number 17 after a great battle with Caden Tufts in the heat race. That is Corbin McCauley. Row number 4 sees the race director for the Super Late Model Series and Speedway 660, a multi-time track champion at Speedway 660, driving the Stuart Friesen AIM Autism colors. That is Brent Roy. To his outside, car number 64. That will be Darcy Ford. Back to you, Regan.
Indeed, moving on to the next row here, we have rounding at the top 10, the number 61 of Ricky Arbo. To his outside, again, former mini stock champion, Oyster Bed Speedway, current 3-stock driver. It's the number 24 of Tyler Doucette. Moving on to just outside the top 10, we have one of the most popular drivers in the field for sure, one of easily the most dazzling personalities, the number 85 of Super Late Model Series rookie Kenny McKenzie Jr. To his outside, the number 21 of Mass driver Sean Pierce.
Rolling off, position number 13, the number 55, driving the Atlantic Tilt Load colors. That is Scott Negus to his outside. It is going to be the 13 rookie from last year, Jared Ireland, starting in row number 8. He had a tough run in his heat race. He's going to hope to turn around in the feature. He got all the bugs out of the way. The 98 is Mark Cox, who hails all the way from Cornwall, PEI. To his outside, another PEI compadre. It will be Ryan Myers in the number 48.
And just so that we don't waste any more time, I'll get the rest of the grid done right here. We have the number 97 of 2022 Canadian Motorsports Network NASCAR Series champion Ty Higginbottom. Alongside him, he's been here for a long time in the network, the number 10 of Jason Butler. And now moving on to, again, another pair of Canadian Motorsports Network competitors, the number 7 of Andy Hurdle. And to his outside, the number 73 of network founder and owner Daniel Cudmore. And now just outside the top 20, we have former mini stock and outlaw driver at Oyster Bed Speedway, Dave Horton. And then, of course, the two-time Oyster Bed Speedway Pro Stock House Division champion and a Super Late Model Series driver in the 01 of Troy Burke. And now we have, oh my goodness, go figure that these two are together. Number 84 of Oyster Bed Speedway race director Chris Bingley, and to his outside, the 2018 mini stock champion at Oyster Bed Speedway, could very well be the 2023 Outlaw 4-cylinder champion, the 71 of Ricky Miller. And to round it all out, the number 75 of Darcy Cudmore, the other Cudmore here in the field. You just keep hearing those names that we have here in this lineup. Denver, this is going to be a barn burner, and now Brent's going to flame me for saying that.
Listen, Brent Roy used that in a Facebook post a few weeks ago, so we're going to say it. That is what tonight is going to be. It is truly going to be a barn burner. Of course, Brent rolling off position number 7. Ryan Messer on the pole. We've talked and documented Regan. He came so close to a Pro Stock 250 win the last time he was behind the wheel. It's another 250 tonight. It may be virtual, but a good chance for redemption. He's got another driver who is a former second place finisher in a 250 to his outside in DJ Casey. Both of those drivers, phenomenal runs in their heat race, along with Caden Tufts. You look at this just look at the top 10 and the crop of drivers we have, the talent, the star power. It is incredible. We are in for a very dynamite show here at South Boston Speedway.
Indeed, so I just relayed it to race control here. We will be going green. We're going to be, okay, it's going to be 1 to green this time actually instead of 2. But Denver, Machette, and then me, Regan McCauley here in the broadcast booth, a month of preparation and anticipation here for this big event, the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250 for the Canadian Motorsports Network. There's the flagman with the green flag, and the pace car will roll off. The first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250 is underway.
Regan Ryan Messer is going to get the jump off of corner number 2. He jumps into the lead over DJ Casey. The top 3 are going to get single file in the opening laps. The top 4 as Stanton Woolridge holds in the position number 4. But look at Brent Roy working the inside. He wants to crack the top 5, and he will. As we got
contact with Travis Roma, and I believe, I couldn't tell what's in front of me. I think it was Ricky Arbo. There was contact there. Oh, Tyler Doucette even loose down the front straightaway. But everyone's able to keep it straight. Here's Ryan Messer currently holding the lead here by almost half a second over DJ Casey. Caden Tufts rounding at the podium positions here so far. Travis Roma all the way back to the 9th position. Let me get the numbers right here. There we go. Tanton Woldridge in the 4th position. Brent Roy here in 5th. Arvo, McCauley, Doucette rounding out right there. Also, Roma, Ingus, and Pearson there as well. Ryan Messer just keeps disappearing and disappearing. That is not a good look for me here, technically speaking. Hopefully there aren't any issues with him later.
explain to our fans what is going on. For those that are maybe new to iRacing, we see Ryan Messer, our race leader, blinking in and out. What is going on there, and how could that potentially impact this race?
Again, I don't know for sure if it might be something on my end or maybe his end, but the way it is here in iRacing, cars will disappear out back and forth, and hopefully really all it is just a matter of the driver doesn't disappear for good on any screen to begin with. It looks like the one actually may have improved right here, so now he's staying a little bit more consistently on the screen, so that looks to be a good thing. And with that, Ryan Messer continues to lead the way. I want to just go back quickly here and see, okay, so the last place car in Daniel Cudmore here in 25th. He's on the front straightaway. Ryan Messer just coming through turns 3 and 4 now to take lap 9 now. And there goes the disappearing again. My God, I don't know what's going on.
It'll be something to watch as the race goes on. Hopefully just something minor on our end. But Regan, the top 3 have started to break away. They're all within about a second of each other, but you have to go almost 3 seconds back to the 28 of Tanton Woolridge, as you see on the screen right here now. Brent Roy is holding up a conga line of cars, as it looks like Ricky Arbo wants to make a move. We got some fast cars here. Corbin McCauley, another one. We got Doucette. They all want to make some moves and get back into the top 5, but they can't seem to crack the code and find their way around the 26 of Brent Roy yet, as he runs inside the top 5.
Indeed, so the 26 kind of holding up some cars right there, but so far the 61, 17, 24 haven't done anything yet to try and find a way past the 26, although the 61 getting real close right there. Let's get through the rest of the field. We're seeing a side-by-side towards the back of the pack between Super Late Model Series driver Troy Burke and then the network founder Daniel Cudmore. Going out right there, Chris Bingley and Daniel Cudmore following in behind, but we can just say right now so far, so go, oh, well, there's the lap traffic factor coming into play. Messer will hit the start-finish line. Now Daniel Cudmore just coming off of turn 2, so lap traffic's going to become a very quick factor right here. I would say maybe about 20 laps in or so, maybe shorter depending. Because again, Ryan Messer just keeps disappearing in and out, in and out. And I would love some technological consistency to happen right here, but again, it's looking so good. So far, so good for the number 1, who, again, he's been dominant every race that he's run this season in real life, but also on the iRacing side as well. He's proving his success here. So, again, we're saying so far, we still have plenty of time. It's a 250-lap race. Anything's possible.
Regan, we saw him at the Pro Stock 250, which, again, his last time on the racetrack. He led the first 140 laps. No, trouble.
You have to see where this may have taken place, as I'm not seeing anything. Anyone, maybe the 70, no? See, this is kind of the product with this kind of tight short track stuff, especially with this camera pack that I'm using as well. Not the most ideal when it comes to incidents, because there could be something that happens all the way in the back and you're trying to catch up to it, but if cars are still going right out as soon as you get to them, then like it's just all, it's a lot of quick timing and multitasking, but I think the 55 maybe had something to do with it, maybe the 96 in there as well. We're going to go back here and see what may have potentially happened. 55 seems to be the slow one here. So we'll see. Oh, yes! He got some help from the 21 of Sean Pierce. Darcy Ford getting in there as well, but the caution came out. The 55 actually was able to save it. So there's the reason for the caution, but I mean, I guess that's a positive, knowing 25 cars on this tight, short virtual South Boston Speedway. Thankfully, no one fully going around in front of a whole pack of cars. So that's the result.
Regan, these first 20 laps or so, super clean up until this point, but we're going to see the contact between the 55 of Scott Negus and the 21, Sean Pierce, and just Pierce got up under him. And who was that? Is that the 64 maybe?
Yeah,
what
Darcy
a save
Ford,
they
that
had.
would be, yes.
Yeah, Darcy Ford, what a save.
Ooh.
Wow, that
Yikes.
was a close. We talked about the close calls that we saw in the heat race. That was another example right there. Darcy Ford, what a maneuver to avoid that car that was parked sideways. But Regan, again, caution laps do not count here. But drivers have the opportunity to pit. They have 2 sets of tires to choose from. Maybe if you're struggling a little bit, you're deep in lap traffic, do you come in a little early? Maybe it's a little too early, but do you play the strategy and try to get some track position?
Indeed, for sure, and because of that incident, it's a rule that we have. It's a rule that we have here for the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250. Cars that cause incidents are given an EOL, so there is your first victim of that scenario. That'll be the number 21 of Sean Pierce being sent to the back for the incident with the number 55. So not ideal early in this race, but again, there's still plenty of racing left for him to rebound in this one as Ryan Messer continues to lead the way. I believe I was told the pace car lights are going to come off this time around. Indeed they will. Everyone's going to go double file here. We're going to restart again on laps 17 and 250. Again, caution laps do not count. Thankfully.
So Regan, we saw on the initial start, the inside groove was the preferred lane. Everyone that was on the inside managed to gain a couple of spots, while those on the outside seemed to drift back a little bit. We'll see now that the track's starting to build up a little bit of rubber. Drivers are getting some laps on. How that will change as we're getting ready to go back racing.
Green flag back out here for the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250 as Ryan Messer leads the way. As we'll get an angle here from the rear chase angle of the number 1 of Ryan Messer. Yeah, pretty much a perfect angle that we're getting right here of everyone in the field. Could very well be a nice angle to see if anything happens towards the back, but if we want to maybe go back, let's say, towards this battle going on back here, it's between the 61 and the 17 for the 6th position. Tyler Doucette following him behind them as Brent Roy leads the way in front. 61 on the outside, 17 on the inside. 17 keeping up with him. There's going to be contact. Tyler Doucette loose in behind them. A lot of close, thrilling action that we got right there on the front straight. Oh, there's more contact. 17's going to go down low and back out of that one as the 61 got very aggressive right there. The 17 will squeeze his way in behind the 61 and in front of Tyler Doucette. The 24 got a little bit too much acceleration into the corner there, almost right into the rear bumper of the 17, but that right there could have been way worse.
A very tense moment, Regan, and you saw that live. Those two were battling hard, and again, the outside groove has been a challenge so far early in this race for drivers. Ricky Arbo was outside of Brent Roy, was unable to complete the pass, and Corbin McCauley took advantage and got to the inside, and Arbo battled back hard, did not want to give up that spot, and he would almost lose it. Both of them almost would wreck as we see a driver on the move, the 71 of Ricky Miller. He started towards the back. He is marching through the field very steadily, progressing. A couple drivers pitted. We had the penalties on the last caution, but he's on the verge of cracking inside the top 15 here, and very impressive run for him. I think he started 24th, Regan, possibly the biggest mover of the race, so we'll keep our eye on him as you see the drivers thunder around South Boston Speedway.
Indeed, so this could very well be a nice crank it up camera that we can use later in the race whenever we can get to a point in potentially using that. As we're seeing up front here, the 0-0 Caden Tufts beginning to catch up to the 94 of DJ Casey down the back straight. Tufts is going to dive it down to the inside. He's going to get a little bit loose right there, trying not to go up the track. He's actually able to keep it perfect right there and very fast. He's going to get in front of the 94. Ryan Messer still leading the way by just under a second, but the 0-0 will get in front of the 94 right there. And yeah, this is pretty much two guys up front that we're seeing here that again have been very successful in past iRacing events, particularly for Tim's Corner Motorsports. Messer and Tufts, they're familiar names both in the virtual world and in the real world. No surprise whatsoever to see them running up front.
Regan, I think there, Tufts was deciding it was go time. He got a little aggressive and started to hammer down. I think DJ Casey, obviously an experienced driver, recognized that a little bit. Maybe said, you know what, Caden, if you want to go take the spot, you can have it. Maybe he gave him the bottom lane when he saw him almost make a bit of a dive bomb move And now Caden Tufts is going to file into second and go to work on Ryan Messer. We'll see if he can be the first driver today to challenge Messer in the one car for the lead, as we are continuing to click off laps, and we'll watch that battle up front. But we got lots of action here in the middle of the pack as well.
Indeed, so a lot of action towards the back of the field, including Chris Bingley, Daniel Cudmore, Sean Pierce trying to make his way back up after that EOL penalty. Really diving it down in the inside right there against Dan Cudmore. Scott Negus right there in the 55 and 23rd. Jason Butler, 24. Darcy Cudmore holding himself there in the 25th position. Let's see how far back he is behind everyone, quote unquote, with Ryan Messer, the leader, coming. Oh, yep. He's coming right there. So we're going to potentially see our first case of lap traffic here, as again, we came close to it in the first green flag run. But no, we had that caution there as a result of the incident between Sean Pierce and Scott Negus right there. I was seeing, I believe it was a battle right here. I believe it was Higginbottom, Ricky Miller, and Andy Hurdle maybe getting involved in something there, as Sean Pierce, Scott Negus, and Daniel Cudmore going at it here between 21st and 23rd. Are able to file in back to single file as per usual, as Ryan Messer really closing in on those back markers. Now on lap 37 of 250. Caden Tufts ever so slightly catching up now, almost, it was about 6 tenths behind, almost 7 in behind the number 1. So far, it seems like so far so good for most guys when it comes to tire wear, but again, it might be just a little bit too early to really get into that kind of a conversation. Still lap 38 of 250. Because now we're going to see here, Darcy Cudmore going to get out of the way of Ryan Messer there. The first car that will go one lap down. Messer now going to try and catch up to the 10 of Jason Butler here through turns 3 and 4. Coming to lap 40. It's just been pretty much the Ryan Messer show as Caden Tufts tries his hardest to catch up while also not wasting the tire wear.
It's just like another day at Speedway 660 Regan. Ryan Messer has adapted well to the South Boston Speedway and is showing the way up front, clicking off another lap lead as they start to cut through the lap traffic a little bit, as we see a little bit of smoke up ahead. Looks like no harm, no foul on that one.
Troy Burke.
0-1. Troy Burke going to pull back onto the speedway. Burke was, we saw him in the heat race, Regan, a bit of a rough go. He was starting to finally make some moves here in the feature, but we'll see if we can't get a replay here and see what happened going into one, and just, a little bit of contact, maybe just not quite enough room there. He spins down onto the apron. He'll get it going, but that is going to hurt. He has lost all kinds of track position.
Oh, whoa! Sean Pierce and Ryan Messer almost having a moment right there in the lap traffic fiasco, as Caden Tufts, DJ Casey trying to get past him and other lap cars as well, including the Cudmores. But this is the time where things are really going to get tight here at the virtual South Boston Speedway, as pretty much there's going to be cars side by side almost everywhere, as Chris Bingley about blocked Caden Tufts right there to try and, well, not stay on the lead lap, but tried to stay in front of him, but there was literally no way in hell that was going to happen.
I think he might have tagged the wall there, Regan, coming off turn 4. Chris Bingley maybe trying to get out of the way of these faster cars and yield the lane. It looked like he might have slapped the wall and bounced off into traffic. Someone,
oh no! The Tanner Jason Butler goes around in front.
He may have connected Tanton.
A bunch of cars.
Wow, we're going to stay green, but if we get a replay on that one, I think he may have made contact with the 28 of Tanton Woldridge, our 4th position runner. That was a very tense moment. We'll see if there's any damage on the 28, as the 10 is kind of really struggling now. He's all over the track, as Kenny McKenzie Jr. and now Ricky Miller will go to the inside. But let's watch this replay here. You can see he's going to the outside. Tanton Woldridge coming up the inside, and I don't know, just gets super loose into the right rear. Maybe not too much damage there on the 28, but certainly a big impact for the 10. And Regan, you saw the 17, Corbett McCauley slamming on the brakes along with some others to avoid that one. Into the back of Ricky Arbo on the 17. Wow. That almost was calamity, Regan, as we're starting to see business pick up a little bit.
And hopefully I didn't need to throw a potential manual caution there. We didn't get an automatic one, which is very surprising, but no one else was quote-unquote involved in that one. Everyone was able to keep it straight. And so with that, Jason Butler still going despite that hard hit to the outside wall. Definitely slow, though, as now Ryan Messer's going to come along and try to put him 2 laps down. Seeing here on the leaderboard, some battles going on as Mark Cox having a loose moment there on the high side through turns 3 and 4. Might be using up the tires just a little bit too much right there. It seems like he's pretty much been loose almost every single corner in this race thus far, but we are getting a long green flag run. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it right there, but again, so far so good with Ryan Messer still continuing to lead the way. Caden Tufts just under a second behind as Sean Pierce right up with him and the 55 as the 55 gets into the outside wall down the back straightaway against the 21, the 55, finding themselves together once again like magnets. And oh wow, the 01 of Troy Burke down pit road. Definitely not ideal for the Super Late Model Series driver.
It's been a tough night for Troy Burke, Regan. We saw him on the Super Late Model Series have many great runs, but now he's going to come off the pits, or go into the backstretch pits, I guess. He is last place at the moment, down multiple laps. It's just been a bad night that continues to go south for the Sherwood Prince Edward Island driver. He's going to make a pit stop here and see if he can't make some repairs, but this many laps down, his race is effectively over. He'll probably try to log some laps and finish it off, but not the night that he wanted.
I mean, you never know. Anything is possible here as it looks like he's going to go for all 4 tires here. And also, of course, maybe some repairs too. 21.49 second pit stop right there for him, so he'll be the first car to make a pit stop in this first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250. Ryan Messer still continuing to lead the way as Caden Tufts has fallen back now by about a second and a half behind Messer in comparison to what was like 7/10 earlier. Because again, we're still seeing a lot of back and forth action towards the back of the field as guys like, again, Chris Bingley, Jason Butler, the Cudmores just keep on being towards the back there and being put laps down as Ryan Messer just coming off turn 4 now to lap the 55 again. Mark Cox caution! Oh, looks like the 10 of Jason Butler might be involved in some once again. Maybe this time around we were able to get a caution. I don't know why the ticker is not saying yellow. But no, it is certainly not green, I can tell you that. So we'll have to go back through the replay here and see if the 10 was involved in a second incident, with the second time around being the for sure caution. And I want the 10, not the 1. There we go. Oh, Chris Bingley and him making contact. Oh, Bingley gets turned by the 10 down the back stretch. I probably wouldn't say that just to hang on. Yeah, the 84 came up, not clear, turns himself into the outside wall. So the numbers on GSG Vinyl 3D late model stock just having no luck. Neither is the 84 Chris Bingley as well. And I did just get word that the 96 of Dave Horton is going to be the lucky dog for this next restart.
There, Regan, like once the contact was made, the 10 of Jason Butler maybe said, "I've had enough," and maybe didn't quite lift there as he pushed Chris Bingley down the backstretch. But those are two drivers that had high hopes for this race and have found themselves not having the greatest run so far. But as we said, it's not too late to turn it around, especially with these cautions. Caution laps do not count. As it looks like we're 61 laps into this one with a great green flag run there. But there's still a chance. There's still certainly an opportunity to turn their race around. I believe with Horton coming back on the lead lap, Regan, 17 drivers will be on the lead lap on this restart. Ryan Messer had lapped all the way up to position 16 on that green flag run that was about 40 laps in length. So a torrid pace out of the one car. But you almost wonder who's maybe just biding their time and logging laps, saving their stuff as we see the 55 return to the track. Not much in the way of pit stops yet, but I'm sure we're going to see business pick up, especially in the second half.
Absolutely. So here on lap 61 at 250, Ryan Messer still leading the way, and I imagine whenever we turn the driver info tab on, hasn't led every single lap, but he's led 54 of them. And I don't understand why the leaderboard has him as the leader, but my timing sheet here has him like all over the place. I'm assuming it's just a matter of, I think it might be something to do with Dave Horton trying to come around as the lucky dog. There, I think it fixed itself right there. So Ryan Messer continuing to lead the way here. He's absolutely dominated this one so far. And we're going to be going 1 to green this time by here on lap 61. Ryan Messer, Caden Tufts, DJ Casey, Tanton Woldridge, and Brent Roy in the top 5 on this restart. So a lot of big names here up front to get back underway here at the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250 on lap 61. Ryan Messer leading the way. We are back to green.
Messer is going to get the big jump into turn 1 as Caden Tufts quickly falls in line in position number 2. DJ Casey going to fall into third. He's going to get pressure from Tanton Woldridge in the number 28 car. It's a absolute hornet's nest here as the top 5 are finally going to get straightened out single file as they were running. Prior to that caution was Ryan Messer leading over Caden Tufts. Regan, we might be about to see what Caden Tufts has for the 1 car as he is staying glued to that back bumper as the battle is back for position number 6. Corbin McCauley making the move. We saw these two make contact earlier, McCauley and Ricky Arbo. McCauley's finally going to clear Arbo for that 6th position, and now he's going to go to work on Brent Roy as the battle continues up front. Messer continues to lead, but his mirror is full of that 00.
Absolutely. So again, we have a lot of big names here up front. Again, a Super Late Model Series driver, 2 Maritime League Legends Tour drivers, a former Pinty Series 1 race driver, and then you got Brent Roy, obviously 2-time Speedway 660 Pro Stock champion, now a race director for a track and series. Corbin McCauley following him behind is currently the top Canadian Motorsports Network regular competitor in the field as the caution comes out. Oh, and that's the 48 of Ryan Myers around in turn 3. He will come back down in front of nobody, thank goodness, so the caution's out. Thankfully, he was able to come back down before the leaders came back around. I believe it may have been him and the 98 that may have gotten together because I saw them on the timing screen here in the movement area. So we'll have to go back here and see what happened to the 48. Okay, so it is looking like it was contact from the 98. Maybe Pierce had something to do with it. No, the 48 in the outside wall. Oh, Mark Cox really diving it into the corner there. He turns the 48 around.
Just overdrove the corner, it looks like, Regan, and right into the left rear. We're going to see the onboard shot here. This is a great vantage point going into the corner, and I guess they just come together, unfortunately, to draw a yellow flag.
So the 98 of Mark Cox will be given the EOL. Yes, Mark Cox, the 98, will get the EOL because of that incident. Sean Pierce, again, will be the lucky dog. So again, Sean Pierce going from being an EOL victim to now a lucky dog. So that's a very good turnaround for him here early, and this one's still plenty of racing left to go here on lap 67 at 250. But yeah, we saw 2 long green flag runs right there. This one went on for a couple laps, but then we got another incident once again. So again, it hasn't been a complete melee so far, Denver. I guess, I mean, that's a positive.
It's been a really clean race overall, and Regan, most of the incidents that have happened have occurred back towards the back end of the pack where drivers are obviously battling for position for the lucky dog to stay on the lead lap. But up front, we got a really talented crop of drivers, really smart, really successful, and they're all just kind of biding their time as we're going to start to double up here for the restart. But they see the big picture. They know that you gotta, to finish first, you first must finish. We are only just past the lap 60 mark in this one. We still have a lot of racing left to go, and of course there is a halfway break coming up, so the drivers certainly are keeping that in mind as they get ready to come back to the green flag. And we'll see how far we get into this one. But Ryan Messer, it's been all him up front.
And he will continue to reign up front as we are back underway here with the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250. The number 1 of Ryan Messer continues to make it the Ryan Messer show as, wow, Caden Tubbs almost diving it down to the inside of the number 1. He'll stand firm in his second place position. DJ Casey waiting for something to happen. He is ready to pounce at any moment on the 0-0. Caution's out again. Oh, we got an incident here. I believe the 01 of Troy Burke may be involved in that one. Maybe the 24 as well. So a very quick caution right there on this restart here on lap 69. There's a word I could easily say right now, but I'm going to refrain. So
well, Regan, cautions breed cautions.
So it looks like it was in front of the 01. All right, we'll get an idea right here. I think it may have been, in fact, the 24, actually, so it wasn't the 01. There was smoke ahead of them. He and, 24 and 96 making contact right there, so we'll see. Okay, maybe Darcy Ford being the culprit or victim of something right there. Oh, the 24 accelerating into the corner just a little bit too quick there, gets into the back of the 64. The caution comes out, but thankfully no one else getting collected in that one. I don't know why the 24 and the 96 make contact right there, but anyways, everyone keeps pushing forward. That's been kind of the pattern we've been seeing here with most of these incidents so far. There's been, again, a couple where we have seen cars taking incredibly hard hits to the outside walls, but again, most of them have been a case where a guy does go around, but they are able to keep this car straight and damage isn't too major, at least by the looks of it. But yes, so 2 cars with the number 4, and then a 2 and a 6 getting together.
Goes on, but Ryan Messer definitely seems to have the best long run car. Caden Tuff seems to have the speed on a short run. So, and for the Ryan Messer fans, Regan, I'm sure this sounds all too familiar and maybe a little bit traumatizing when you think back to what happened just a few weeks ago. But the one car on the short runs was fell victim and lost the race. The 00 is going to be trying in the short runs to see if he can maybe make history repeat itself. DJ Casey, of course, sitting in position number 3, is really hoping that those top 2 make a little contact and he can pounce, but Brent Roy really put the pressure on Tanton Wooldridge for position number 4 that last restart. The 28 of Wooldridge didn't quite get the restart that he wanted and allowed Roy to make a move, and we'll see what happens again. Every restart, these drivers are going to be learning a little bit more, and we'll see how that progresses as the race goes on. As again, none of the front runners have chosen to pit yet for tires. Of course, they got 2 sets to choose from, so we'll see. Regan, I wonder if we'll see any strategy. Maybe drivers won't take any tires and finish the race on the same tires they started with.
Absolutely. So we will go 1 to green this time by with Ryan Messer still leading the way. Tyler Doucette got an EOL from that incident. Still trying to keep on that consistent pattern with every incident where we do give EOLs if we do believe driver deserves one. And maybe it's not green this time by. I'm not seeing everyone go double file unless maybe it is a single file restart. Okay, so it will be 1 to green. When we get past the line, it'll be this time by then. We see double file this time. Don't know. Don't know for sure if it may have been extended there for some reason. I think it'll be this time by actually that will be going to green, so it might have been a decision there just to make sure everyone was all good. But I think I could tell you one thing for sure. I believe we may have just gotten our first DNF of the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250, and that's the number 48 of Ryan Meyer, 6 laps down. He's not showing up on my timing screen, so it looks as though the 48 will be the first driver out of this race. And so with that being said, the car's still... And unfortunately, I was not live right there. Now we are, so the green flag is out this time, yes. Ryan Messer leading the way here on lap 76 of 250. Caden Tufts and DJ Casey in second and third. Tandon Wooldridge and Brent Roy continuing around at the top 5. This top 5 has remained the same for quite some time now here in this first half of the 2023 Oyster Bed Speedway 250.
Regan, they're starting to get strung out a little bit, so we're looking at another green flag run here as we see Ricky Arwell manage to get back by the 17 of Corbin McCauley. Again, lane choice, the lane that the drivers end up in on the restart, again proving to be a critical turning point in this race. It's benefited the 61 this time around. He is back into position number 6 and staring down the 26 of Brent Roy.
Absolutely, so it looks like Messer getting a little bit of an advantage there now. Half a second is now. Tufts, Casey, and Wooldridge are all going to get very close together here for the second position. Oh, whoa, we got a car smoking here. I think the 10 of Jason Butler may have just very well blown up. He might be another DNF here in this first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250. Wow, the 61 up the track into that left rear of the number 10. So the 10's going to try and have to find a way to get to the inside. But he'll probably have to wait until everyone gets past him here. It's not ideal for the 10 as Troy Burke gets close as well. They'll have to find some opening somewhere. Not yet. Not ideal for the number 10, who's already been involved in multiple other incidents in this race. Finally, he's able to get down safely and onto pit road, or at least the second pit lane, we'll call it. So that might be a second car out of this race here. We'll get official confirmation here in just a little bit as Ryan Messer continues to lead the way by half a second. DJ Casey trying to pounce here on the 0-0 for the second position. This top 5 has remained in the same order for, again, as we said, quite some time.
And Caden Tufts
just got... Sorry?
You go ahead, Regan.
No, yeah, Jason Butler, I just got word. His repairs are too extensive. He will be the second DNF of the Oyster Bed Speedway 250, so absolutely tragic for the Canadian Motorsports Network regular competitor. And Denver, you go ahead.
Well, we're seeing Caden Tufts not be as strong on this run. He is getting all kinds of pressure from DJ Casey and Tanton Wooldridge. The battle right now really is for that second position, but a driver that we've talked about throughout the race, and he continues to be the biggest mover. Ricky Miller is now inside the top 10, running in position number 9 from a 24th starting position. That 71 has been marching through the field, just very methodically. I know he's got lots of fans in the comments. Obviously, Regan, a very popular driver, maybe, at Oyster Bed Speedway. He's won many races this year. Points leader at Oyster Bed Speedway. Picked up a win just a few weeks ago at Speedway Miramichi, and now here tonight looking to make some noise in the Oyster Bed Speedway 250, and maybe a bit of added pressure as something has gone on for DJ Casey. He's up on the outside and dropping back. Brent Roy's going to take advantage into position number 4, and DJ Casey, where you get dropping like a rock. We might have to get a replay here and see exactly what went on, but something big is happening because DJ Casey has gone from 3rd, and he is falling back outside the top 5.
Indeed, oh my gosh, a replay would be so risky right now because we're getting some really good double file action right here as now the 17 will try to pounce on the 94. Oh, and actually we have another maneuver going. Okay, can the technology please work with me here? Goodness gracious. There we go. So Tandon Wooldridge, we're seeing a lot of movement up here as the 28 has gotten past the 00 and the 94. So
Regan,
things
I
just got
wonder if there
interesting.
was some contact between the 00 and the 94. We saw they were battling hard for that second position, and now both drivers seem to be falling back as, we're going to get a replay here. Let's take a look and see what goes on. We got
28 dial it down the... Oh, no, and we got a caution as soon as I say that. The 13 and the 85 are around. Jared Ireland and Kenny McKenzie Jr. get together in turn 2. I just had a feeling that was a very risky time to go to a replay.
And now might be another risky time because we might start to see some pit stops. Especially, Regan, if you're Caden Tufts or DJ Casey and you just start to sink through the field, it might be worth considering taking some tires now and hoping to re-pick up some track position and find a little bit of speed.
Indeed, so unfortunately it doesn't look like we'll have time to take a look at what potentially happened earlier. I'm hearing Daniel Cudmore will be the lucky dog for this caution, but let's take a look at what just happened here with the 13 and the 85, and we'll see if any more cars may have gotten involved in that. Well, we just kind of saw the sneak peek right there, but here they are, the 85 trying to dive down to the inside of 38. Oh. Okay, I'm going to need a better angle of that one, although it does look like there was obvious contact there. Yes, there it is. That was a lot better of an angle. It's the 13 sends the 85 around. The 13 of Jared Ireland will get an EOL because of that. And yeah, business is picking. I'm seeing it from a guy here, someone here in the chat. It's time to go before the halfway break. Yes. I had a statement in mind. Business is booming, or business is going to start booming here as we approach the halfway break, which no doubt we will try to get a prize for whoever can lead the halfway break. And now this time I will go live after making the mistake earlier of not going live, so we will be at 2 laps to green, I believe I was told this time by, with Ryan Messer continuing to lead the way.
And some new players up at the front with Tanton Wooldridge up to position number 2 for the first time today. And Brent Roy up to position number 4. Ricky Arbo, position number 5. This field has gotten shaken a little bit. The deck has been shuffled, Regan, as we're going to get ready to go back green. Like you said, business is booming. We're closing in on the halfway break. And we're about to see if anyone has anything for Big Orange and Ryan Messer.
Ryan Messer, Tanton Wooldridge, Brent Roy, Caden Tufts, and Ricky Arbo are your top 5 on this restart. We're going to go back to green on lap 93 of the Oyster Bed Speedway 250. We're getting close to the halfway break. Let's see how this run rolls out. And hopefully we could get another long green flag. Oh, never mind. Oh, boy,
Ooh,
big wreck here in turns 1 and 2. Lots of cars getting involved in this one. A restart mishap right there. Lots of big names involved in that one. There's the other Macaulay around in his number 17 Oyster Bed Speedway late model stock. We're definitely going to have to get a look at what just happened right there. There's your sneak peek right there of absolutely everything, but we're going to get it right off the bat on this restart here and see what happened. There was a bit of a checkup on the inside there from the 61. Oh, wow! And then everyone piles in.
And it became a parking lot here in turn number 1 at South Boston Speedway. Let's see that shot again.
Oh, Ricky
Miller absolutely pile drove the rear end of Corbin McCauley, put the 17 car up in the air. Travis Roma got tagged, had nowhere to go, and about half the field ends up piling in here. Heavy damage on some heavy hitters, Regan. We saw Corbin McCauley, a stellar qualifying run. Same with Travis Roma. Their path to victory just got a little more challenging here. We're going to watch this angle. Boom! Wow, what a shot. And what a stack up in turn number 1 that brings us back under the yellow flag.
So based on that incident, knowing how many cars are involved in that one, it's looking like it looks like there will be no EOLs on that one because, I mean, Denver, you saw it right there. There was a massive checkup on the inside. 17 had nowhere to go. The 71 had nowhere to go. And then it was just a chain reaction from there. Just a big racing incident. A parking lot, as you said earlier there during the replays of that big crash here on lap 94, 250 on the restart. We'll be at 2 laps to green. And I believe I think it's Daniel Cudmore that will be the lucky dog for this. Yes, it will be the 75 going around everyone here. I heard 1 lap to green this time. Maybe it'll be 2 because of the lucky dog situation. No, it looks like we're going double file. I think it will be this time. We will be going back to green. And yeah, Denver, as you were saying earlier, business picking up, and as well too, it's just going to be a chain reaction of incidents over and over again now that we had those 2 long green flag runs at the start, but now it's just kind of that pattern that's just going to keep going. Hopefully it'll stop at some point as we're going to go back green here.
Absolutely, Regan. Let's see how this restart goes as Caden Tufts is going to rocket into position number 2. What a restart for the 00. He's going to go side by side with Tanton Woolridge. Woolridge's going to fall into position number 3. Now the battle is for position number 4. Brent Roy and DJ Casey side by side. Casey with the spot. Roy looking for the crossover. Look at Ricky Miller up to position number 6, Regan. Just moments ago, he was underneath Corbin McCauley. Looks like that did not hurt that 71 car any. From position 24, basically shotgun on the field, up to position number 6. As we are less than 30 laps away from our halfway break, it continues to be Ryan Messer showing the way at the front. As you see on your screen, Miller is going to go to work on Brent Roy in the 26. Can Miller crack the top 5? Can he maybe win this race from the back of the field? We're going to find out as you see here mid-pack, near the back of the pack, almost 3 wide coming off the corner. The racing's intense as Regan, we are about to hit lap 100 of this one.
Oh, Caden Tufts around! Oh, Ricky Miller's going to get in that one. Ty Higginbottom as well. We were just talking about the wild restart stuff that we just saw there from, again, Tufts, Woolridge, Brent Roy getting in there as well. Ricky Miller up there, but Caden Tufts goes around.
Wow.
That's going to change a lot of things there. We're going to have to look back at the replay and see for sure what just happened. That is not who I want. Come on. Come on, where's Tufts? There you are. Come on, give me Tufts. Give me Tufts. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go live there. Now we'll try. Come on. There we go. Should be good there. There. Oh boy, was there contact? Neck code?
That looks to be a neck code issue. The 28 didn't appear to be making contact with Caden Tufts, but you saw the 28 starting to blink a little bit, and then the 00 go around. We'll see how they call that one. Regan, wow. If you're Caden Tufts, that's a tough pill to swallow, no matter how you spin it. Maybe this is where you play a different strategy and try to get back to the front, but man, Caden Tufts with a fast car, that one is going to hurt. And Regan, we got a shout out to one of our good pals from the Super Late Model Series tuning in from a plane somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, Stephen Muzzerall. He's on his way over to Europe, and he's tuning in from a plane. How about that? How about that? Unfortunately, he's not going to be with us at Petty Raceway for the Old Fashioned Meat Market on September 30th. But he's tuning in tonight to watch his good pal Brent Roy, some of his buddies from Speedway 660, and yeah, he's in a plane somewhere. I think the whole plane is going to be cheering for Brent Roy up there somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean tonight. So yeah, they're definitely going to be tuned in and watching their favorite drivers.
So I have official word. Caden Tufts confirmed he's self-spun. There was no contact. Even if there was, it probably would have been net code. But Caden Tuff's self-spun, that is what happened. No EOLs. Chris Bingley is the lucky dog. As we're going to restart here on lap 99 of 250 here in the Oyster Bed Speedway. 250, green flag back out. Ryan Messer with almost a perfect restart right there as, oh, how about that? The 94 of DJ Casey finally making his way back up to the front after what seemed to be something that happened earlier that we couldn't catch as a caution came out while we were trying to look back. And oh my goodness, would you look at that? The number 71 of Ricky Miller still hard charging to the front. He's in fourth. I can only imagine there are a lot of people watching this stream that are absolutely having a brilliant time watching this guy surge up to the front. If Tim Terry's watching, I bet he's having a blast as well.
It's unbelievable the charge that Ricky Miller has made as we see a slow car up on the outside. Hopefully 75. Hopefully he'll stay up there. That would be Darcy Cudmore, I believe, Regan.
But 3 wide.
Well, you see Caden Tuff marching through the field. We'll have to keep an eye on that 00 car. But back to Ricky Miller, up to position number 4. Who could have predicted this? A tough run in qualifying, a tough run in this heat race, and he is now challenging inside the top 5, staring down a podium position. Incredible run from him. And shout out to Sean Pierce. Remember, he went to the back earlier after an incident, up to position number 8. That 21 is marching to the front as we close in on halfway, but Ryan Messer has led the way so far. I don't think anyone's been able to get around him yet, Regan. He has led wire to wire. DJ Casey, Tanton Woolridge are looking to make something happen. This might be the closest.
No.
The top 3 yet. The one may be a little loose.
I was going to say the one seems to be having some loose moments here in the corners. Is the 94. Oh my gosh, there was almost contact on the rear bumper there. The 94 slides back. Here comes the 28 for the second position. I believe, oh my gosh, now Ricky Miller's starting to fall back in behind Brent Roy here into 5th. Roy up to 4th. Casey's going to drop back to the 3rd position. Tanton Woolridge up to 2nd.
What a move Woolridge made to get into the 2nd spot. DJ Casey was up the back bumper of Ryan Messer, not quite putting the bumper to him, but oh so close. And when he was there, Woolridge almost on the apron made it stick, and now he is putting the pressure on Ryan Messer. He wants to take the lead before this halfway break. We are closing in with about 16 laps to go here until the halfway break, and Tanton Woolridge, he's going to do it again.
Goodness.
And look at Brent Roy.
It's a 4-car battle, almost.
Where did Brent Roy come from?
My gosh, it's like a 4-car battle that we're getting here for the halfway break. It looks like Messer's finally starting to have issues here towards the halfway break, maybe using up the tires a little bit too much. Here comes the 28 trying to battle. I guess when he's going to dive it down the inside, Messer goes up the track. 4 cars going out of here for the lead towards the halfway break. The one's going to try to dive it in down the inside. The 28's going to surge up to the front. We have a new leader here in the Oyster Bed Speedway 250. Oh, and the caution comes out. Big wreck here in turn 2.
Wow. This is getting very intense, Regan. We saw the top 6 almost. Oh, it's Troy Burke. Gosh. Troy Burke has found chaos all
what
night.
In the world, Sean Pierce?
Wow, there's still lots of calamity going on here, but Tanton Woolridge, first time tonight, we see a new race leader, and what a move to get the lead. And we're going to go back and see what caused the caution. Look at this, the top 7,
it's
top
at the
8,
top.
all nose to tail. Ryan Messer was up on the outside, and when you get in line like this, it doesn't take much. And Sean Pierce drove it in deep, tagged Ricky Arbo. Oh, and the whole track is blocked at that point, and you see a couple drivers piling in. That's going to draw the caution here, just shy of the halfway break.
So a lot of cars piling into that one here. So Mark Cox, Kenny McKenzie Jr. getting involved in that one. So yeah, Pierce, that's 2 incidents right there where he takes someone out right there. Sean Pierce will get his 2nd EOL of the night because of that. And I heard from a certain driver in particular, apparently they had a good wreck avoidance, and it's the guy on the other side of my wall. The other Macaulay may have done a move at the race. Wow.
He parted the seas there, Regan.
Well, we got the cockpit view now on this one. Just split it right through the middle. There was an opening that was right there, absolutely perfect for the number 17. And then meanwhile for some other guys, yeah, no.
Looking here in the comments, Regan, Tanton Woldridge is becoming a polarizing driver among viewers with his blinking and neck code issues. We have some fans in the comments saying the 28 maybe should take it pit side. We got some others that are cheering him on. Is he going to be the hero or is he going to be the villain on this one? I know if you're from Harvey, New Brunswick right now, Tanton Woldridge is the villain because he made the move on Ryan Messer to take the lead from Big Orange. It's the first time today that he has lost the lead. We see maybe burn through the tires too much, but Regan, for the majority of these front runners, they have not yet pitted to take their tires. So everyone's still got lots of fresh rubber sitting in. Regan, where did Tanton Woldridge actually go? Speak of the devil.
All the way towards the back, apparently, as the pace car is going to roll down pit road, back to green here on lap 111 of 250. Super close to the halfway break. And also, yeah, thanks for that photo you sent me there, Steven, watching the race on a plane. Incredible commitment from him. Thank you very much. And would you look at this? The number 26, Stuart Friesen paint scheme is charging his way up to the front. He wants to be the leader at the halfway break. He's going to try and challenge, again, a guy that he's directed almost all season. And he got sideways right there as the 94, and oh my gosh, even the 71's trying to make his way up here as well. Tanton Woldridge has actually he's all the way back in 20th, so I don't know if maybe he made a pit stop or he decided to go to the back. As here comes the 26, diving it down to the inside of the one. He's going to try to clear him. Oh, the 26 around!
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, there is some teardrops on a flight. As right here at South Boston Speedway, flight number 26 was going for the lead inside of Ryan Messer. Regan, you cannot predict how this race is going to play out. Brent Roy in the Camry kid going for the lead, spins himself out just shy of the halfway break. Unbelievable turn of events here. We're going to get the replay up, and I believe he just went around on his own. The 26 was showing speed. Flight 26 was going to the front. And now he's going to be at the back of the pack and have his work cut out in front of him.
Yeah, pretty much just had that left side get caught along the apron.
Great job by the whole field to miss him, and great job by Brent to get it down on the bottom out of harm's way, because you take, Regan, when you have, we saw this in the Riverview Ford 150 at Speedway 660 Speed Weekend, when your top two drivers go around in front of the field, that has the potential to be big. Fortunately, that was not the case here, as Brent Roy stays at the bottom, everyone avoids, and Ryan Messer miraculously is still going to be the leader of this race. What an up and down night he has had, led the majority, lost the lead to Tanton Woldridge. I don't know if we got confirmation if Tanton maybe pitted with a bit of strategy or what the deal was there, but obviously Tanton mired deep in traffic. That handed the lead back over to Ryan Messer. Regan, I think as well, with Brent Roy in the pits, Ricky Miller is going to be in the top three after this.
It's looking like it as we're seeing Brent here. Well, it's not live. We're checking out the replay here of Brent Roy in his pit box. I believe he may have had like a 27-second pit stop there for repairs, so he, I believe, might have gone a lap down. Don't know for sure, but I can only imagine.
I see in the comments here, Steven Musrell says that one was not his fault. Of course, Steve signed to a lifetime contract as a spotter for Brent Roy. I don't think he's spotting from above the Atlantic Ocean here tonight, so this one was not his fault. But Ryan Messer's going to get the lead back. He's got some new drivers in his mirror. Of course, DJ Casey to his outside battled with him for much of the early going, but Ricky Miller in position number 3. What does he have? As the green flag's back in the air, pace car is off. DJ Casey's going to slide down in front of Miller to reclaim the second spot, and Ryan Messer is going to set sail. Big Orange leading the way as we are closing in on the halfway break.
Indeed, Ricky Miller and Darcy Ford side by side for the third position. Will Miller clear? Oh, Ford got into the outside wall because I don't know if it might have had something to do with the 71 or maybe he panicked. But here comes Travis Roma now making his way up in the number 38. 17 also charging his way back up after some earlier incidents, of course. Oh my goodness, the 38 barely clearing the 64 there down the front straightaways. The 17 dives down below the 64. Caden Tubbs charging his way back up after the earlier self-spin. He's in on the inside of Dave Horton here for the 10th position. Ryan Messer and DJ Casey. Wow, Casey getting loose there. What were you saying?
The battles are continuing to wage all around the track, and yet again we see another driver making a bid for the lead get loose. DJ Casey lost an incredible amount of time on that one, as now we see Corbin McCauley looking to the inside of Darcy Ford for a position in the top 5, and that little bobble from Casey, that should be enough for Ryan Messer to cruise here into the halfway break, provided we stay green, as we are only mere laps away from our break. Couple car length lead. Ricky Miller, he could take the lead yet though. He is the wild card here from the back, from 24th to 3rd, and challenging for position number 2. He looked to the bottom there. Casey looked like he was going to leave the bottom open, shuts the door. Miller going to dive it back to the bottom, as you see Caden Tufts working through the field, as only a few more laps to go. How impatient will Ricky Miller be? He doesn't just want second, he wants to take the lead from Big Orange. Again, looking to the bottom. He might have it this time, Regan. Ricky Miller inside of DJ Casey looking for the runner-up spot, and he will clear, and Travis Romo will follow.
Ricky Miller to the 2nd position here over Travis Roma. DJ Casey and Darcy Ford making contact there. Ford way down low down the back straightaway. The 17 is going to try and take advantage of all this as the 94 drops back. Oh, Ryan messes around!
Big wreck in front of the field. Everybody's stacking in. Corbin McCauley, they're still wrecking. We see Ricky Arbo around Tanton Woolridge.
It's a, what do you call it, traffic jam?
Oh my God, it's a parking lot. It's a yard sale. It's a junkyard here on the front stretch. The race leader. Oh my goodness. And Regan, we were coming up on the halfway break. I can only imagine when we get the replay, we'll have to see what happened, but you're so close to the halfway break. Why would you push the issue? Unbelievable turn of events. Ryan Messer, the dominant car, is in the middle of a junkyard here, just shy of the halfway break, and it's all of a sudden the tables have turned, and it's not a very happy night in Harvey, New Brunswick. As you see the contact with Ricky Miller in front of the field, and everybody piles in. Corbin McCauley. We see, oh my goodness, just about everybody. Tanton Woolridge with some, I thought he got some damage. He looks like got some good wreck avoidance, but oh man, oh man. Regan, I don't think there's now that Ryan Messer collected in this incident, I don't know if there's a single driver in the field that has not faced adversity now in the first half of this race. Almost every single car in the field has found calamity at one point or another. For some it happened early. For some, like Ryan Messer, it was just shy of the halfway break, and they're still cleaning up cars here on the front stretch. Just an unbelievable turn of events.
So this will be a good angle that we're going to get right here. Yeah, just, my gosh.
And the track's just blocked. There is nowhere for anyone to go at that point. You see Brent Roy, he was involved in the most recent caution before that, going for the lead. He gets through, was able to stop and avoid. Ricky Arbo gets it going. Just, wow, unbelievable the way this race is playing out. And we're only halfway. We are only halfway through this race. There is a lot that can still happen as we settle in for the final half. And Regan, I think we're going to have a little bit of a sprint here to the halfway break with possibly Travis Roma in the lead.
So apologies for the silence on my end right there, as trying to communicate EOLs and also how the halfway break is going to work. So the way this is going to work is lap 125, the moment the leader catches lap 125, the white flag will be out. And as soon as the leader hits the line for lap 126, Caution's out, halfway break is underway, and then we'll perhaps get to an explanation there, whatever it may be. We'll figure it all out once the halfway break gets there. But yes, lap one, as soon as the ticker on the screen says lap 125, that is the white flag for the first half of the race. And it looks like Ryan Messer is, give me a second here. Is Ryan Messer going to keep the lead because of the timing of the caution, or am I not reading this right? Okay, no, there we go. I was a little confused there again. Timing screen just keeps doing its glitches and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So, Regan, we are going to have, I believe, this is going to be a 2-lap dash.
It looks, wouldn't it be 3?
Yeah, 2, 3, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere
around
around there.
At the end of the day, this is going to be, hopefully, race control and the spotters are all communicating to the drivers. Let's just get to the halfway break without tearing up any other cars. This has been a bit of a chaotic first half, especially the closing stages of the first half of this race. And who would have thought Travis Roma, I think he, on the opening laps, started towards the front and flew to the back. Just an absolute unfortunate start for him. He's worked his way back up. Now he's leading the race. So he will be our third different race leader. Ryan Messer dominated, led a bunch of laps. Of course, Tanton Woolridge took the lead, but that was short-lived. When that happened, when Woolridge ended up at the back, Ryan Messer regained the lead, and now for the first time it will be Travis Roma as he looks to lead into the halfway break, but DJ Casey has been there all race. Is this his time to shine?
So here they come. It's going to be a 3-lap shootout to decide the halfway break here before we get that caution. Travis Roma leading the way with DJ Casey on the outside. Green flag is out. One final shootout here to solve the first half of the race before the cars will come down for 5 minutes to repair their cars and perhaps put out a new fresh set of tires. Or actually might have had that completely wrong, as I think this might actually be it right here. If it says 125. Yes, actually that was the white flag for this. So here we go to the checkered flag for the first half of the race for the halfway break. There it is. Travis Roma will lead at the halfway break. Caution out.
And wow, what a first half, Regan. I got some things noticing here, like, how about Daniel Cudmore? Was he not getting the lucky dog at one point? He comes back, is in the top 10. Andy Hurdle is in the top 10. He didn't post a qualifying lap after tagging the wall. This race has been flipped upside down, and we are in for a treat in the second half. A lot of big names are mired deep in the field. They're going to work on some repairs. They're going to mount some fresh rubber, and they're going to try to get back to the front.
Indeed so. Again, Travis Roma leading the cars down the pit lane for the halfway break here. So congratulations to the number 38 for leading the halfway mark of the race. We'll hopefully try to maybe get a prize in for him, but it's a 5-minute break for them. It's also going to be a 5-minute break for us here in the booth. We will stay on the action here, though, as everyone comes down the pit lane, of course, and makes their changes. And I'm going to go through and have again, because with this halfway break, when everyone goes back out on the track to line up for the second half of the race to get that underway, we have to put everyone back together in the order that we had at the moment of caution. So when we get to that, we'll be back. We'll see you on the other side in just a couple minutes here to get the second half of the first annual Oyster Bed Speedway 250 underway.